Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. I toast to you. So, I didn't make a video the last couple days because I was super sick. I got food poisoning. It was miserable. Totally miserable. But it just got me to thinking about taking care of yourself and about this weird place that some people get to, about selflessness, and kind of what we were talking about the other day with the whole light and dark and fluffy magic and dark magic and self heal, taking care of yourself and taking care of others and all of those things. And it's about balance. But while being sick, I get a lot of guilt when I don't do the things that I've assigned to myself. I'm self-employed, so it's not like I have a boss to whatever. And I know that my 15 followers I have thus far aren't going to be like devastated if I don't post a video every day. And I know that that's a thing that I've set for myself. And so I set a lot of these goals for myself. And then I get a lot of guilt if I don't fulfill them. And then I feel like I'm not doing what I need to do. And I forget to take care of myself. And and it escalates or de-escalates, I guess, into a place where I am incapacitated and can't do anything because I wait too long to take care of myself. Now, the food poisoning was a little different. Obviously, I ate some bad shrimp. It was yucky. I mean, it was delicious. It was yucky after eating it. And it's just one of those things, I do most of my cooking at home, and we grow a lot of our own food, and we buy organic meat, and we do those kind of things. So when we go out to Popeyes, it's like a 50-50 chance. Either me or my husband or both of us are going to get an upset stomach. And it's not just, that's where we happen to go before, but wherever you go. So for me, it's about, I just really at this point have to cook for myself or eat people, home cooked food. Fast food and processed food and all of that kind of stuff is just, it's no good for your guts. But that was just one of those things. It was a busy day and I couldn't get home in time. It was already 7 o'clock. We had done all the school shopping and done all of this stuff, and it was just like, we got to eat. So we stopped and got something on the way home, but we didn't stop to think about taking care of ourselves and all of that stuff. But on a regular basis, when you start to get into these habits, it's really hard to change that. And so, I've met practitioners who are super good at taking care of themselves. They have daily rituals and routines, and all they do is they take care of themselves, and they're really good at it. They take care of their space and their own person and their people, like them and theirs, their kin. And they're really good at that. But then when it comes to stepping outside of that and, say, donating to your neighbors or thinking about other countries or different cultures or just different places that aren't outside of their general area, that is a challenge for them. They're like, well, I've used up all of my giving on me and mine. I don't have any for the rest of the world. And then you meet practitioners who give and give and give and give to the community, constantly giving to the community, constantly giving to the community. And when it comes to taking care of themselves, they don't have any energy left to be like, oh, I gotta take care of myself. And, so you get these people on both extremes. And then when it comes into the pagan philosophies and we start talking about all of the rules and the the social norming done through different types of paganism, you get this clash where you have some people who are like, that's good. If you just give and give and give and give to the community, and what goes around comes around, and you'll be all right in the end, but you'll know that you're doing the right thing. And then you have the other half, the community, who says you can't give and give and give and give and give unless you take care of yourself. And then they just get kind of focused on taking care of themselves, and they get into that habit where that's all they're doing, and then they find it hard to there's like a dragon like this dog. And then they just can't give to the community because they've given to themselves and they've just focused on themselves so much. And I'm not saying that they're doing it to intentionally be selfish, but it's just one of those things. Like, once you get into that habit, if every day all you do is think about you and what you need and what you want and what you're going to do for you, that becomes the norm. If all day you're thinking about what you're going to do for other people and all of that stuff, then that becomes the norm. And so you have to find this place of balance. And even in my own practice, as I've been practicing for so long, and then in my life, not just my practice, as a mother and a caregiver, and I've always been that, my nickname many, many moons ago was Miss Tara, just because I was the teacher Tara, and I always made sure everybody had a coat, and I made sure that people brought water bottles, and do we have a snack, and does everybody have their needs met? And that was really important to me. And so I've always just been that kind of caretaker giver. So taking care of myself can be kind of hard. And it is hard sometimes. I have to tell myself, it is okay to do things for yourself. It is okay to be selfish at times. It is okay to do something that is just for you. And that's important. And to shift that mindset and bring that to a balance to where I take care of myself, I take care of my family, and then I take care of the community, and they can all be together, and it doesn't have to be either or one above the other. It's finding that balance. I like to think about those toys. I don't know if they still make them, but when I was a kid, they had a ball in the middle, like a hard ball, and then like a Saturn ring around it. I think they still make them for workout, like balance training at your physical therapy. But when you stand on them, you have to get it to balance on this ball. And that's how I see balance in our life. Like, we are the center, and we have to find a way to balance all of these different things that are constantly in motion and changing and growing and falling and up, in all different directions. So it's like a spinning cosmic chaos that you are the center of, and you have to find a way to make those all things in balance. You have to find little things to help you take care of yourself. You have to be aware of your community. You have to be aware of the world around you. You can't just have one and not the other. That's where we're coming into all of these problems. I mean, globally right now, we have all of these problems going on. Not the coronavirus. I'm talking like social problems of racism and classism and sexism and ageism and all of these isms. And all of these isms are created because we as a society have not found that balance between self, community, and everybody. Like the 3 layers of community. And we haven't found that balance. And there are so many people who are hyper focused on this is mine and I can only take care of mine. And then you have those people who are like, give to everybody else. Let's just give and give and give. It's the same concept. If everybody was aware of their own needs, was aware of the needs of their neighbors, and aware of the needs of the world at large, and then had respect for all of those needs, we would get to a much better place as a society, because we would realize that it is not like it was hundreds of years ago, where the resources and the ways to get the resources and use the resources and all of that stuff made it to where there were limited resources. We are in this modern world where we have a plethora of resources, and there is no reason that we should be bickering back and forth on resources, because they're all there. And if we all were respectful to the resources and to each other, and we didn't have these jerk faces who were hoarding resources, or have these people over here who had nothing, who are barely surviving, things would be much different. But that all comes into finding that balance between taking care of yourself and taking care of the world and the community and everything that there is. So I guess really what I'm saying is that you need to find that balance in yourself and in your community and in what you're doing. And once you find that, you can come to a place of good. See, there goes all that balance thing between work and home. There was a child, I had to stop for a moment. But that's just what it is. You have to find that balance. You have to find what works. And you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your community. You have to take care of the world. Like, that's just the reality of what we live in. Like, that's the reality of this reality. And the more that we do that and strive to that, the better things will be. And so I encourage everyone today to do something for yourself. If that's take a nice long hot shower, or make yourself a nice healthy snack, or go for a walk and meditate. Do something that's good for you, crafting, whatever it is that you enjoy doing. Take a minute, 5 minutes, if only 5 minutes, and do that for yourself. Or 30 minutes to take that nice hot shower, whatever it is. Just take that time for yourself. I also encourage you to do something nice for a neighbor or somebody else. Something that I've noticed, because everybody's been staying at home so much and away from everybody else, and we're so secluded, that when you go out into public, people are downright rude to each other because they've spent so much time with themselves, thinking of themselves. I mean, I'm like appalled at some of the behaviors that I'm seeing by like grown people in the grocery store who can't like have the common courtesy to wait the 2 seconds to give you that space for you to finish reading your label or do whatever you need to do. I got the dirtiest look the other day. I'm standing, these people are picking out salt. Whatever. If they want to take 5 minutes to pick out salt, that's great. I stood back 6 feet. I needed salt also, and I just waited patiently. Other people came up and literally like scooted this older couple out of the way or reached in between them or really got up into their space. And then I got looks because I was just standing there and people are looking at me like, what is this lady just standing there for? And what do you say? Like, I'm being polite and waiting for these people. You got to be rude? Like, I don't understand. And maybe if I had said something, it would have been a good learning of experience for everybody, but I have a not good luck with that. Sometimes I'm too honest for people and they get upset and people don't like to hear the truth. But anyways, so have a little bit of respect for the people around you, and don't, like, when you go out into public, especially right now since we've all been so isolated, even though people can't see your face, you could still smile. You can smile under your mask, your eyes smile, your face changes. People see that. And you can smile. And also, just because you have your mask on doesn't mean I can't see that dirty ass look that you got. So, the masks don't hide as much as we would all like to think they do. Let's just be polite. Be polite to each other. So, go out today, do something nice for yourself. Do something good for the community. If that's just being polite to the other people around you. And go out and learn something about other people in the world. We can't do things realistically in the whole grand scheme of reality. There's not much that I could do for the suffering of the people right now who were hit by the hurricane on the other side of the earth. Tsunami, whatever. I mean, I could send money to relief funds or donations or whatever, but that's really not going to help them. I can send my happy thoughts and my prayers, and I can be aware of the problem. And sometimes just being aware that that's happening is great. I can't get ink for my printer right now and some of the other things that we're used to being able to get, because not only do we have the coronavirus, but they were hit with the tsunami. I can't be mad at the guy at Best Buy. You should have seen his face when I was like, hey, I was just wondering, did you guys have any ink in yet? And he got the look on his face of like, oh, I'm going to have to go through this with another mad customer. And then he told me, and I said, that's what I figured, something like that had happened. I can't even get it online. So I just wanted to see if maybe you had a hidden stock. And he laughed and felt better. But I was polite to him. It's not his fault there was a tsunami and a deathly virus around the world. So when you go out, be polite. Be aware that there are things going on in other countries. We like to... I see this a lot from Americans. They're like, that's it, I'm had it, I'm going to go live somewhere else because this country is so much better. Well, you take off your rose-colored glasses. Every country has problems. No country is perfect, period. Like, that's just the way it is. Nowhere is perfect. Everywhere has some jerk who's in charge of something that affects the communities. There's hate everywhere. And there's lust and greed and all of these things. Those are worldwide. That's not like a one place kind of thing. And so educate yourself about the world and about what's going on in the world. And don't just get it from one news. Watch more than one news. Try out different news things. Get some independent news sources online. There's so many places you can get news. Don't just watch NBC or Fox or CNN. Don't just pick one. You've got to reach out, learn about the world, and be aware of what's going on. So that way you can do there are some things you can do to help, okay? We can raise awareness. We can talk more about these things. Say all of these things where they're like, whatever. We could get into a million things. I read a lot of world news. I would rather read world news than local news. I don't know why. That's just how it's because it's not on my face. I could go outside and look. But be aware of those things so that you can take care of everybody in a way, and by being aware. And sometimes you can send money to something functional, or you can buy a cow for a village. There are things that you can do that can really help. And when those opportunities present themselves, you wouldn't know about it if you weren't being aware of what's going on in other countries. So, again, because the end got kind of rambly today, go out and do something for yourself, do something for your community, and be aware of what's going on in the world. And let's move towards having a better society. And if that just has to start with the pagan community, then so be it. But it's got to start somewhere. So let's start doing that. So I hope everybody is having a great day. I wish you well, and I hope that you have good health and happy days, and that you find just what it is that you need to find. And I toast to you and all you do. Have a good day.